Hi guys, welcome to Ruchi's kitchen. We all love parties, but we're always worried about the extra food left for the next day. So today, I'm going to show you a delicious and mouth-watering recipe with leftover samosas. And I'm using a pressure cooker. Into that, I'm going to add around 1.5 tablespoons of oil. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add a teaspoon of cumin seeds, 2 small pieces of cinnamon and cloves, 1 bay leaf, 1/4 teaspoon of asafoetida, and next 1 finely chopped onion. Once the onions turn brown, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of ginger and garlic paste, 2 finely chopped green chilies. Give it a mix. 1.5 finely chopped tomatoes. Into this, I'm going to add all the dry spices, half a teaspoon of cumin seed powder, half a teaspoon of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of red chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon turmeric powder, and 1 teaspoon of chole or chana masala, half a teaspoon of amchur or raw mango powder. Give this a mix. A little bit of coriander leaves. Make sure you cook this till your tomatoes are nicely softened. The masala is nicely cooked. Into this, I'm going to add 1 cup of soaked chole. I've soaked it for about 6 to 7 hours, and now I'm going to add this. I've drained out all the water from it. Give this a good stir, and now I'm going to add around 1.5 cup of water. Salt to taste. Give this a mix. Close the pressure cooker. Cook the choles for 1 whistle on high flame and 4 whistles on low flame. It's going to need that much time to cook properly. The whole purpose of me making this recipe in a pressure cooker is so that you don't waste too much time in making the chole and the masala separately. 4 whistles are up, and now I'm going to turn off the flame. Also, let the pressure cooker cool down for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll open it. Let's assemble this chaat. I've already warmed up my samosas in the oven, and now I'm going to keep them in my plate. Also, if you want to know how to make the samosas, you can click on the link in the description box below. Just break them down. The pressure cooker is cooled down. Just mash the chole lightly so that the gravy and the chole mix together properly. And this is done. Over these samosas, I'm going to spread a little bit of this chole, some spicy coriander and mint chutney, some sweet date and tamarind chutney, drizzle a little bit of beaten curd, some finely chopped onions, just a pinch of cumin seed powder, a pinch of red chili powder, and a little bit of coriander leaves. And this chaat is ready. So today, I've made a shortcut recipe for my chole, for my leftover samosa. You can even make it vice versa. If you have some leftover chole, just buy some hot samosas and enjoy this filling recipe. So do try it at home, comment below. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hi guys, you're watching Rajshri Food. In this episode, I'm going to make an Indian chaat recipe called the Ragda Patties. This is made with white peas curry and served with potato patties and a lot of ingredients to garnish. I'm going to start with the white peas curry. It's extremely simple and quick to make. So let's get cooking. I've soaked the white peas for 6 to 7 hours and then pressure cooked it. Heat 1 tablespoon oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add the cloves and the cinnamon pieces. Let's add the asafoetida, onions. Cook the onions till they are nice and soft. And I'm going to add the tomato pulp. Just remove the skin before making the pulp. Add all the spices, turmeric powder, red chili powder, garam masala. The tomato pulp is nice and cooked, and I'm going to add the pressure cooked white peas. Mix it well. I'm also going to add at least 1.5 cups of water, salt to taste. Let the curry boil for 5 minutes, and this curry also tends to thicken after it cools down. So whenever you're reheating it, add a little water. It doesn't have to be extremely thick. While the curry is boiling, let's very quickly make the mixture for the patties. Boiled potato. Make sure you cool down the potatoes completely before you mash them. Coriander leaves, ginger chili paste, turmeric powder, salt, corn flour. Mix all these things together. And the mixture is ready. Let's shape the patties. I'm going to apply a little bit of oil on my hands and take a small ball of the mixture, and I'm going to shape it into a flat round. Some people even like to stuff some peas or coconut mixture in the patty. The curry is ready, so let's get it off the flame. This is the consistency I'm going to need while serving. Let's place a pan. I'm going to grease it with a little bit of oil. The oil is nice and hot, and I'm going to place the patties. I'm going to roast these patties till I get a nice brown color. Flip them over. Let's assemble the Ragda Patties. I'm going to pour the curry on top. Let's garnish it with date and tamarind chutney, coriander mint chutney, some black salt, cumin seed powder, red chili powder, coriander leaves, onions, some crushed puris, some fine gram dal sev, a generous squeeze of lime juice. Even if you don't have the puris and the sev, it's okay. You can always just garnish it with coriander leaves, onions and the spices. This chaat recipe can be enjoyed in the evening or even for dinner. It's pretty filling. We at Rajshri Food are trying to make your everyday cooking even more delicious. So do subscribe to Rajshri Food. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to Rajshri Food. In this episode, I'm going to make Dahi Puri, which is a yogurt-based snack. It is an interesting item from the group of chaat recipes. I'm going to start with making a small hole in the puffed puris by just tapping it very lightly. Make a hole big enough that I can spoon all my ingredients in it. Let's make the filling. There are no specific measurements for this recipe, so I'm going to take in some potatoes, some soaked bundi, some sprouted moong. If you don't have the time to sprout them, just soak them and use them. Coriander leaves. Season it with salt, red chili powder, cumin seed powder and black salt. Just mix everything and my filling mixture is ready. Let's fill up the puris with this mixture. Just 1 teaspoon, not too much. Coriander mint chutney, depending on your taste. Date and tamarind chutney. I have some beaten yogurt or curd and I'm going to completely fill these puris with that. Just shake it a little bit so that it spreads everywhere. Make sure your yogurt or curd is like really chilled. Salt, just a sprinkle. Red chili powder, cumin seed powder and just a little bit of black salt. Garnish it with a little bit of sev and coriander leaves. Just in case the ingredients like puri, bundi, sev are not available in your Indian stores, we can also use canapes instead of the puris. Instead of the bundi, you can add finely chopped cucumber, tomatoes and just garnish it with yogurt and coriander leaves and you'll have delicious canapes ready. Serve the dahi puris immediately because they tend to go soggy in a few minutes. Otherwise, you can also arrange all the ingredients in a nice platter and serve it individually and they can make their own. Enjoy this light and cool recipe. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Indian monsoons, tea and corn is quite a lethal combination. On that note, let's make something simple, something crisp, a crispy corn chaat. Hey guys, this is Varun Inamdar and welcome to Rajshri Food. Before we begin making anything, the first thing is to heat oil in a deep pan or a vessel. The next step, of course, is to take some American corn and transfer it in a large bowl. You do not need to take boiled corn or anything of that sort because this eventually is going to get fried and cooked. For the batter, I'm going to add in some gram flour, and to make it nice and crisp, I'm adding in some cornstarch. We need to give this thing a mix. And to this, I'm going to add in just a few tablespoons of cold water, and that is purely so that the besan or the corn flour kind of clings onto the corn. Give this a mix. After adding in the water and mixing, this is how we need the corn to look like. The oil has also heated up. The next thing, of course, is to fry the corn in hot oil. While frying these, we need to ensure that as much as corn is individually fried. You need to pinch it like so and drop it in hot oil. Once the corn is fried nice, crisp and golden brown, let's transfer this on an absorbent tissue paper to drain away all the excess oil. The crispy corn needs to be kept aside for just a little while, and in that time, let's utilize that to cut some vegetables. The first one is onion. Moving on to the next, which is a raw mango. Let's move on to cutting some tomatoes, some green chili, and finally a wedge of lemon. Time to assemble our crispy corn chaat. The first thing, of course, that goes in is our crispy corn. And I'm following this up with all the ingredients that we had cut earlier. Let's add in some quick few spices, just a touch of red chili powder, chaat masala powder, salt, and finally a squeeze of lime. Let's give all of this a mix. With this, our crispy corn chaat is done and ready, and serve this immediately. While you can serve this with masala chai, try it the way I do. I like it with iced tea.
Sweet, sour, spicy, tangy, crunchy and crispy. Have I made you hungry yet? I don't know about you, I definitely am. Hi guys, I'm Bhumika and today we're going to make Katori Chaat. Let's start with our dough first. I've been heating up some oil that we're going to add to our cup of flour now. I'm just using 2 tablespoons of hot oil. Mix the flour with your spoon very well. The flour and oil have mixed well together. Let's add in our ajwain, little bit of salt and some baking powder and some crushed black pepper. Give this a good stir and then add water to this. Finish kneading the dough with your hands. Our dough is now ready. We are going to roll it out. Take a small ball, smooth it out and use a rolling pin to roll it out. The dough should be quite thin after rolling it out. We are going to prick it with a fork. We are doing this to avoid any sort of bubbling while baking. I'm going to place this on an upside down cupcake tray. You can also use any kind of bowl that you might have which is safe for baking. I've molded all the tokris. Now let's brush them with a little bit of oil. Our tokris are now ready to bake. We are going to bake this at 160 degrees Celsius for 10 to 12 minutes. Let's make the filling for our tokris right now. You can be as creative as you like. I'm going in with a little bit of boiled moong, one small finely chopped onion, one de-seeded chopped tomato, some chopped boiled potatoes, a little bit of sweet yogurt, some tangy tamarind chutney, a little bit of green mint and coriander chutney, and some pomegranate. Give this a good toss. Now let's season our mixture with a bit of chaat masala and some salt to taste. Our tokris are now ready. I've let them cool down for 10 minutes and they come right off. In case they don't come out, use the back of your spoon and nudge your tokris a little and they come right off. Let's fill our tokris now with the filling that we made earlier. Just spoon in the mixture. Let's garnish these with a little more pomegranate seeds, a tiny bit of the tamarind paste, and lastly some nylon seeds. And your Katori Chaat is now ready. So you see, your tasty food doesn't need to be so unhealthy. Here's a low-fat version of your Katori Chaat. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Like this video and share it with everyone you know. And subscribe to Rajshri Food for more such recipes. See you next time.